Good afternoon and welcome back. So this afternoon we got to get these tuners installed, so we're going to have to clean up all those little wood nubs and then re-drill it and install the tuners. So let's get at it, right? I guess I should probably get out something soft so there's no poking holes in my mat. All right, let's get that out of the way. So we got that one all wired up, as well as the next three, the blue one, the gold one, and that gold one. Next one on the chopping block is the black one. And once we get that one all wired up and stuff, then we got the silver burst to do. And eventually we're gonna start fiddling around with these. I still gotta intonate those two and set them up and finish the setup on that standard there, the gold top standard. I was going to say gold top, but there's two of them there. So anyhow, let's go ahead and get back to this because we're almost done. We're on the final stretch. So we only got a little bit of hardware in this was the original hardware here, the chrome bridge and tailpiece. And I ended up going with lightweight aluminum satin finish ones to match the tuners that are satin finish and the pickups and everything else that is on it for hardware. So just trying to keep it all matched. Anyhow, I hate when a guitar has chrome and satin finish stuff on it, but anyhow, one of the things that you're going to need to do, I guess let me set you guys down here and then we'll zoom in a little bit. So the first thing you want to do is take your screw that is going to hold your tuner in, and normally it's going to be the smallest one because it's like a number 4 screw. The biggest thing is you don't want your screw to fit in the hole at all. You want to have to be able to thread it in. So that's how you're going to tell if you got the right size drill bit or not, is you want this to be able to thread into the wood without expanding too much, but have enough expansion where the threads hold. If you have one that's too big, you're going to be in the same issue, and that's why we ended up putting the toothpicks and gluing them in there and trimming them off. So in order to avoid that again, you just go with the smallest drill bit possible without going too small, because the hole does have to expand. And that's one of the things I wanted to touch base on here, and I forgot to mention when I was gluing these in. When you just shove a toothpick in there and break it off and then put the screw in, yeah, that works. But think about this. You got a solid piece of wood up here with 2 little tiny ears that they glue on. That's how Gibson does all of them. Not to mention, once you fill that hole and you snap it off, now that has to fit in there as well. So everything's expanding. Something's got to give. So it's usually going to be a wood grain line or a glue line or something like that. So if you just shove toothpicks in and break them off, you're going to end up ruining the headstock eventually. It might not happen right away, but the pressure over time, it probably will crack and split it. So just keep that in mind. The next thing you want to do is you hold your screw up to the drill bit like that. Get yourself a marker, and then what I do is I mark this, and you can't see that, but this is giving me a reference to where to put tape. And I didn't practice my 6Ps again. I didn't get the tape over here. So let me grab that. Where did I put it? Right here. All right, so you just take yourself a little piece of tape and you find that little mark that you put on there, and you go right on the mark, and then you just roll it around. You can tear it off if you want, so you don't have a big giant wad on there, but basically all it is a depth gauge. You got to make sure that it's on there good enough so when you do go down, you don't push it up and make it deeper than than it should be. The other thing you can do is you can use the drill kind of as a stop. Let's see. Nope, that one won't fit all the way in there, but the next thing we want to do, let's go ahead and zoom out a little bit. I'll take my X-Acto knife here, and I just want to kind of go around. That one right here didn't end up needing a toothpick, so I skipped that one. But you just want to go in there like that with the little X-Acto knife and just trim off the high spots there. And you don't want to make sure you don't slip and go digging into the finish, but it is what it is if you do. The only reason you're doing this is so when your drill bit goes up against this wood, it doesn't skate off to the right or left. You got a flat surface for that drill bit to plan into. Yeah, so let me go this way. And you just want to put a little light pressure on it and just kind of wiggle it, because it will cut real fast. The next thing you know, it's getting away from you. See how I'm working it around, because I'm nervous it's gonna shoot off on me. There we go. So those feel nice and smooth. Let's see here, this one needs a little bit. And if you have a razor blade like that and you kind of hold it flat up against it and just kind of rock it back and forth, and it takes it right off. And then another reason that you glue these is so when you re-drill your hole, you have a nice fresh hole, and the pieces that are in there aren't going to come back out too. So gluing it and drilling it is a really big step. So the next thing we want to do here is get the tuner started. Let's push that into the groove and vacuum it up later. Oh, I gotta flip it back over. You guys should have told me they go in from the back, dummy. Yep, they go this way. Deluxe. Why does that look wrong? Just doesn't look right. It is though. So after we get all these set in place, we'll get the little the nut certs started, because that will help. Oop, I gotta put that on the other way. Flat side down to the headstock. Let's get all these started. So just make sure you put the beveled edge up towards the top. A lot of the times it's going to be shinier on the side that's been against the guitar anyhow, so it's pretty easy to tell. Get all these started and we'll slap them in. Alright, let me get these started here. Now on the Grovers, when you're installing them, I've never installed a set of these from scratch like this, so, but I know on the Grovers, I got a little tiny straight edge, and you can put it in there before you drill and screw them down, and then make sure that they're all nice and even in line. We'll see how this one works. I'll get the little straight edge. It's over there. It won't take me but a second to go grab it. Again, 6 Ps. Wasn't practicing them. Thought I had everything ready. But do you ever? Is anything ever really done? Are you really ever ready for anything? Seems like there's always something. Alright, let me grab that straight edge. Oh, and I thought I knew exactly where it was, and that is the next straight edge. Oh, what the heck? not in the drawer. Alright, well, poo. I guess I will use... I'll just use this. It's metal, it's straight. Yeah, see this, it's different than the Grovers, but I can see that I am right in line with my little screw holes there. This one we can actually put a screw in to hold it in place as a guide as well. And again, when you tighten these down, when you get it to the point where it stops, just give it like a quarter of a turn. Because all these are doing is kind of holding them in line. It's the nutsert on the other side that actually does all the work. So I guess let's do this and see what happens. Here goes nothing. And that's it. Now let's get the screws in it. And then I'll get it strung up here in the next video. And also the next video coming, I bought it, I bought the Zakk Wylde Vertigo June 6, 2024. And it's been either hanging on the rack or sitting on a stand, damn it, since then. And it still has all its original dirt and filth on it from the last owners. The terrible strings are on it and a dead 9-volt. So it is time to tear that apart. And I don't think I have to do any wet sanding on that one, but we're going to do a lot of polishing. So we're going to have to pull all the pickups and stuff out. And that is a factory EMG, so it's probably all soldered, so I may not get to pull them out. But if it's the EMGs like I put in the other Zakk Wylde that I saved, it'll be all plug and play. So stay tuned for that. It is number 47 of 300 made. I'm actually going to either sell it or trade it. I'm going to be getting rid of my standard gold top as well. I haven't even played it yet. It's not even done, but I don't like the 50s neck. And that's what the Zakk Wylde one has, as well as my standard gold top. So I'm going to be either selling or trading those two guitars. But the gold top standard, my plan is to take the 61s out of that black classic that we just snagged and put them in the gold top standard, the 50s gold top, because I want my Memphis historic spec pickups back out of that before I get rid of it. I paid $400 for those pickups, and last time I seen a set they were $600, so they're real hard to get. And I don't want to let them go. So if you guys are interested in the 50 standard, you want to trade for something, let me know. I want something with a 60 slim taper. And the same with the Zakk Wylde Vertigo. If you guys want to trade something for that with a 60 slim taper, let me know what you got. It's been a while since I did a trade. Last time I traded was with the Blues Man down in Carolinas. I sent him I think it was number 63 of 157 all gold anniversary, you know, the really ugly all gold headstock and everything. It was the custom. It was all mahogany top, mahogany back. It was a really nice guitar, but ugly as sin with that gold headstock. I took it down the lathes and I wanted them to put a normal headstock overlay on it, and they didn't want to do it. And then ended up trading it. So I traded that for a 1976 Les Paul Custom, and he gave me quite a bit of money in exchange as well, because that guitar was worth twice as what his was. Alright, look at that home stretch, guys. Finally got some tuners back on chug. Alright, so there we go. Finally got that all done. It's all nice and cleaned up. Three-way switch is all in. Got that all wired up. So once we get this thing strung up, it should be ready to go here real shortly. The only dilemma is I still don't know which strings I'm going to put it on. I think I'm still going to put these Richard Krusp Ramstein strings on it, but I don't know. Still on the fence. I got a little bit of time to think about it, because this one needs to get strung up too after I clean it. So I might just do both of them at the same time and show you guys how I string them up again with locking the string without a locking tuner. And this is something that just reminded me. The guitar that we got from South Shore Music, not only did it come perfectly set up and everything, they actually wound the strings the proper way. And this is what I'm talking about. I don't know. Let me come over here so I can show you guys. So if you look, the string that goes through the eyelet is bear hugged, a wound underneath of it and a wound over top of it. And that's how you can do that and lock the string without a locking tuner and not have 6 miles of string wrapped around it. So another thing that impressed me about the South Shore Music over there in Massachusetts, I kept saying Jersey. I've been going over to Philadelphia and Jersey so much, it's just kind of like stuck in my head. So anyways, guys, I guess that's about it for this episode. We finally got, I got a little bit of cleanup here, but we finally got the tuners back in. I'll clean that headstock up again before we string it up, but let's go ahead and hang this on the rack. So now we got 4 of them all wired up and ready to go. I do not have the back plates on them yet, because we're going to go ahead and compare all the wiring. I got, you know, like the honeybees. You can see that it's hard to get the camera in here without bumping it, but they all have different pots and caps and pickups, so we'll go over all that soon. Again, like I said, after I'm done with all the comparisons and everything, because like I said, I just got that thing built and I haven't even played it yet, but I don't like the neck on it, so I'm gonna get rid of it. But I'm not gonna do that until we've already got the black one done, because those are the pickups and stuff that I'm going to be putting in that when I do get rid of it. So stay tuned for that, guys. Until then, don't forget to like and subscribe. You Fender guys, I know you're probably chomping at the bit. We do have quite a few Fender projects. We got the American Strat over here that we have to fully build, and then we have a black Mexican Strat in there to fully build, a white Mexican Telly to fully build, a black Mexican Telly to rebuild. I don't know, there's more Fender stuff in the lying there, but I just forgot what it is right now at the moment. So hang on and stay tuned for that. We'll get to the Fender stuff here very shortly. That just kind of popped into the mix. It was unexpected. We put it on the list and it just, hey, it came up and we got it. So we'll have 5 guitars to compare once we're done with that black one. So stay tuned, guys. Till then, don't forget to like and subscribe. Really helps out.